Want to learn the latest Facebook ads hack from an expert who's managed $11 million in ad spend for his clients? Or do you want to know what to look out for in your campaign to ensure you spend the least and get the best results? Well, hi guys, it's Linh Podetti here, and now in this video, I interviewed a longtime friend of mine, Kim Barrett, founder of Your Social Voice, an agency focusing on Facebook ads. He has worked with clients like IGA, F45 Training, Bolt Fitness, and more. Now, whether you're new to Facebook ads or have been using Facebook ads to grow your business, you will gain valuable advice on what to look out for when setting up your Facebook campaigns and mistakes to avoid. Hey Kim, how are you today?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, oh my God, I couldn't wait to talk to you about Facebook ads because I have been, just struggling in this space for so long. But the ironic thing was I actually met you at a Facebook ads kind of mastermind about 6 years ago. And that's how we got to know each other. But you definitely just dive deep into this area. And so thank you so much for being here to share with us, all your learnings of after, managing so much millions of dollars of ad spend. So yeah, can't wait to pick your brain around this Facebook ads topic.
Sounds great to me. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go back to your love for Facebook ads. How did you get started with Facebook ads? Tell people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I've been playing with online marketing, digital marketing, whatever you want to kind of call it, since probably I was about 15 years old. So at that time I was just playing around on, back before Facebook, on forums and things like that, and learning different bits and pieces about advertising, which I always thought was interesting. And, once I kind of put that to the back burner a little bit because I had some success there, some success in the realm of solo ads and SEO and other little bits and pieces. But I was like, I've been told, I've got to go to university, got to go do all this stuff that they've told me to do. So I'm not going to worry about that internet stuff. So I went and did all that. And then my brother and I launched a supplement company. So supplements is in protein shakes, things like that. And we didn't really know how to, apart from the reason we started is we wanted cheap supplements for ourselves, cheap protein powder and pre-workout was the goal. So I was like, cool, we've got that. Now, how do we make some money from this, get other people amongst it, other than just at the gym? We were at the gyms, we were like, hey, free samples, trying to get people in that way as well. Just, just shilling it out there. But then we're surely there's got to be a simpler way for us to get people who are interested in protein powders, all that sort of stuff, in front of our products, rather than me going to a gym every single night, going to the gym in the morning myself, then going in the afternoons, trying to give people samples. I was like, this doesn't seem like a good thing. I was like, I've got to figure out how to do it online. And this is when Facebook ads was first kind of coming out. They had been around a little bit. They were a little bit not super effective at the time when I first started playing with them. And again, I put them to the side. Then I came back and I was like, okay, these seem to be good now because I could target people that had interest in bodybuilding, fitness. And I was like, great. That means that I can try and if they're already interested in bodybuilding and fitness, they're surely using subs. I can get, great prices. Surely I can win. So that's how I started getting into it and playing with it. Just when back in the day when there was only ads on the right-hand side, couldn't see, that was the only ad space that there was. That's when I started playing with them, and I was like, okay, I can actually be super targeted. I tried Google ads, and at the time I was like, it seemed difficult to me. I was like, I can't seem to understand how to make this work. But Facebook ads was like, cool, people in Perth from 18 to 35 who are interested in bodybuilding, interested in fitness, and then I can sell them my proteins. I was like, surely that's got to be easy. So that's kind of where I started out, was because I couldn't really figure out another way to sell all my products without trying to set up a shop and store and all that sort of stuff. I was just doing it from home, me and my brother out of our spare room. So I was like, cool, let's run some ads, let's get some attention, and let's see what we can do. And that's where I really first started understanding how targeted you could be with Facebook ads. And I was like, this is cool. I need to learn more about this.
And then people came to you for you to do what you've learned for yourself, is how you started. Is that right?
Well, so what happened was, at the time I'd been doing it for myself and doing it for some affiliate stuff. And then as I was going, certain people I just noticed weren't really good at what they were doing on social media at the time. And they weren't really good at generating leads. So my actual first client was people, my sister and I built a house in the last, when there was the GFC, and then all of the first home buyers grants went crazy like they're doing now. So me and my sister and I bought a house and we're going to sell it. And I was like, speaking to the real estate agent, I was like, how do you guys, obviously, like, we called you because you're really the only one in the local area, but how do you guys normally get clients? They're like, oh, just word of mouth. And I was like, do you do any social media? And they were like, no, we don't. We have a page. We don't do anything. We don't post. We don't do ads. And I was like, oh, I'm really good at doing ads on social media and helping businesses grow. Do you think that could be a benefit to you? So they're like, oh yeah, that'd be great. So pretty much same day, we signed up for them to sell our house. I signed them up to do social media and ads for their company.
Wow, that was your first client, and that kind of proved the model, or proved to you that you can sell your knowledge of Facebook ads. I mean, I definitely have dabbled with Facebook ad, and I find it so difficult. What do you think makes someone like yourself, like, why is it that you enjoy it more? Does it require someone that's more analytical and really interested in data, or like? But I definitely know when I was learning it, you also have to really, almost take stock of your clients. So it takes a lot of also strategy kind of person. So yeah, describe the ideal person that could really get ads.
Look, it's kind of a range of different people, because there's looking at it, understanding it, but then there's also making them. So you've got people who are creative, who can come up with amazing copy, which are the words that you're writing, and then make the beautiful graphics. Then you also need someone who knows how to, once that is put into the ads, be able to put out the data and go, great. Like even yesterday, like we coach a couple of other agencies as well. And they're like, this isn't work, like our ads aren't working. And I was looking at them, I was like, let's look at the numbers. I was like, pull all the numbers up and let's just like spot the difference, like what the big problem is. And I would, like, in 10 minutes, I was like, oh, cool. Like, this is the problem. It's not your ads. It's actually your funnel. That's what we need to go and fix. They're like, oh, I've never looked at it in that way before. And that's just because I used to, and I had looked at so many ad accounts over the years. Like at one point in time, I took on a huge client, which I shouldn't have, because it was just me and like an assistant. And this was like Christmas time. They were in e-commerce. They're like, Kim, we want you to make us like all these sales and money. And I was like, oh, it was my first like big client, like $7-8 grand a month. And I was like, this is awesome, doing a happy dance. It was just me. So I was like, cool, that means I can like eat this Christmas and buy presents, like it's okay. So when I got them though, they're like, oh, we want to run ads for our store. And I was like, great, easy. Looked at their store. They had like 20,000 SKUs, 20,000 different products and services. And I needed to run ads for all these things. And I was like, oh, this is going to cause me to pull my hair out and like to have an early death, because I'm just going to be so stressed. So in the first couple of weeks, I still got it working pretty well. But in that week, I set up 30 campaigns, which had 30 plus different ad sets, which had 10 plus different ads. So in that week, I set up technically over 9,000 ads just in 1 week. So then by doing that, then I went back through looking at the data. So now when I go into an ad account, I can pretty much pick what is wrong in the first 5 minutes. Like going through, I can click around and be like, cool, this is what we need to fix. Just because I've done it now so often, the whole 10,000 hours, I probably did 10,000 hours that week. When I set up all those ads, like that was not a problem for me to hit that number. So because I've done that for so long, I can understand it. So now most people I always recommend is, if you can think about your clients, if you're someone who can understand what they're going through, their problems, their thoughts, their actions that they take, as you mentioned, like being able to understand them fully, and then you can figure out how to articulate and talk to them, that's the type of person who's going to be able to win. Because the technical side, to be honest, like you can go watch a YouTube video on how to set up a Facebook ad. Like it's not that hard to walk through those steps, but understanding who to target, why you're targeting them, what to say to them, what they need to see, they're all the things that make the big difference. There are some technical things like the ad account structure. Again, like I had a client that came on board, all I did was change the way that their ads were structured and it started working really, really well. So there's some small parts like that, but that's like the final 5%. The 95 is understanding them so effectively that you can know how to target them, you can know how to speak to them, you can know what they want to look at. That's like the heaviest lifting.
Good answer. You really covered it really well. Now I can understand. I mean, that strategy part is the important part though. So I guess what would you say some of the mistakes that people make when they get started with Facebook ads? And even if they have no money or not money, but like, what is it, the common mistakes that they make?
The main thing is like, they don't really treat it with respect. And what I mean by that is not that they're like, oh, Facebook's crap. But what they do is, if you like, the way I like to get people to think about is like, if you were to go and create a TV ad or a radio ad, you would put in so much energy, thought, process. You'd get a professional scripter. You'd be bringing in a professional videography team. You'd be doing all this stuff. But because Facebook ads are so easy, like it's easy to go and set one up and chuck it up, people just chuck up anything. So they don't do the research, they don't do the follow through, they don't plan it out. Like you've got the whole strategy of what you want to achieve, but then you've got to break down all those things and actually set it all up. So most people, where they make a mistake is they just chuck it up and it doesn't work, and they're like, nah, Facebook ads don't work.
And it's not just because it's easy, it's because you can test $5, $10 or anything, versus a TV ad might cost you a lot more money. So you have to care. But then they forget that if they don't do it right, they're going to keep testing for a long time and get no results. Time and money costs us a lot more too.
Exactly. And it's like your ad's probably going to be seen by more of your ideal audience on Facebook than it is on TV.
Nowadays. I don't even watch TV anymore.
Exactly. My TV is not even plugged in. I don't even have an antenna. I just have my Apple TV box so I can watch Netflix. So that's all I got.
Yeah. Good point. So that's the one mistake. Any other mistakes that you can share?
And the second one is really, like, I call it the NOC method, which is understanding your niche, what you're offering, and then the copy and creative that you're using. Again, most people don't do that extra bit of research to line those three up. And again, most of the time, if something's wrong with a campaign, it'll be either they're targeting the wrong niche, they have the wrong offer, or they're just articulating it wrong. And then the copy or the creative that they're using does not match. Is too disjointed from who they're targeting and what they want to do with that. Normally, when I look at it, again, if I can look at a campaign, if someone just wrote on a piece of paper, this is who I'm targeting and this is what I'm saying, I could say if it would be working or not, pretty much. Because now I've learned by doing it so many times, like, does that match up? Yes or no? No, cool, it's not going to work. Yes, cool, it will work. Then it comes down to some more of the technical side of things.
Yeah. So ideally, like, how much budget would you need to really do a proper campaign and test? Let's assume, I somehow got the best niche, the best offer, and it just sounds perfect. Like, how much money would I have to invest and go increase up until?
From anywhere from $1 to $100,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but the way that it's a good question, because everyone asks it, right? They're like, so now if I got that, how much to spend? Well, I like to position it back to people and go, great, what is a sale worth to you? What is a lead worth to you? What is your conversion rate? If we pull those three numbers, you can reverse engineer it and go, great, if a lead is worth $100 to you because you have a $2,000 product and you close 1 in 10 people, which means that it costs you, $1,000 to make $2,000, and you're happy with that, then as long as we get a lead for under $100, we're good. And that's what we should set our targets at. And then go, great, how many sales do we want to make a day? We want to make 1 a day. Great, our budget is $1,000 a day. Rather than going like, start at $5 a day, scale to this, it's like, we'll use that thought process to start at the top and then go, great, what am I willing to spend? I'm not saying that you will have to spend that $100 a lead or whatever it might be, but then that's like your metric for success. Because if you know that you can spend up to that amount and it's under that, don't worry about changing it. Just worry about speaking to those people, interacting with them, and seeing how you can better articulate what it is that you do so that you can convert at a higher level.
Yeah. So then how long would you need to let it run before you can actually make that judgment whether your ad's wrong or needs improvement?
It could be anywhere from 24 hours up to a week. So it depends really on then again, once you've figured that number out, how much you're spending a day. The first week to 2 weeks, like, all you're looking to do is buy information. You're buying data. So I always say to people, don't expect that you're going to have 100,000 leads and you're going to be like, a billionaire straight off the bat of doing this sort of things because you set it up and Facebook ads are going to make you rich. It's like, start with the foundation. Cool. For the first 2 weeks, I want to gather information. I want to pull all of the information about how much it costs me to get per lead. When I get those leads, what they say to me when I speak to them, do they buy from my website? Use that as your information gathering period. Then from there, make a logical decision. Normally at the end of a week to 2 weeks, you'll be able to see and go, great, I'm not getting clicks, or I'm not getting conversions, or I'm not getting purchases. And then you can figure out what is the constraint in and amongst all of the data that you have. But you can't really make a decision in 24 hours if you're spending $20 a day, because you're like, well, I don't have enough data yet. I need to spend a bit more so I can see, do people like what they're seeing? Are they clicking on it? Are they not clicking on it? Is it costing me too much to get them to click on it? And then you can make decisions from there. So yeah, I always say it's like, give yourself anywhere. If you're on a small budget, a week to get information. On a larger budget, it could be up to 2 weeks. But the more that you spend earlier, the faster you'll get the information.
And then there still could be problems with your landing page, or if you're trying to, I guess, get in bed too soon. I'm assuming maybe if you're just telling.
Well, Lynn, this is our first time, all right?
It's just like, so ideally, like, what would you say if I had a service business to say, what would be a typical goal to have? Do I just get people to download a lead magnet versus asking them to book a discovery call? What would be your suggestion?
So it again depends on like the warmth of that audience, whether they are cold, are they cool, are they warm, are they hot? So normally what I would recommend to people, if you're not quite sure, I like to call them verification campaigns. I categorize them in two levels: verification and amplification. Verification means that we're just trying to verify that our offer works to the marketplace, which could be that free download, could be directly to a call if it's a hotter audience, if it's people that have been engaging with you on your page, watching your videos. But if it's further down and it's like a cool to cold audience, test it out with like a Facebook lead ad is a very easy way to verify if your offer is correct.
What's a Facebook lead ad?
It's probably one of the simplest ads to use that you can collect data with. So Facebook categorizes ads in like 3 different levels. You have like awareness, then you have consideration, then you have conversion. So awareness is just like, hey, I'm here, I have a business. Consideration is where you're getting them to take some form of action, whether that's watching a video, engaging, liking your page. A Facebook lead ad falls into that category as well, where it's like, hey, I'm considering that what you have is something that could benefit to me. And then conversion is the very last one, which is like a bit more of a robust strategy where you've got an actual pixel and tracking and using APIs and whatnot to actually see exactly what's happening and where people get to on your websites. But I always recommend starting with that consideration point, because it's like, hey, if you can get someone to give you their name, email, and phone number, then we can most likely assume that what we have matches that audience and we're saying it in a good enough way. That's what the assumptions we can pull from that. A lot of people don't like Facebook lead ads because they go, oh, sometimes if I've tried them before, I get bad quality or people don't answer and things like that. But we're not looking to use that as our core campaign. Sometimes we are, but we're not looking to use that as our core campaign to run forever. We're using it to verify that what we have matches our audience and they want it enough to tap a few times and give us their details.
Okay.
Then we use that data to go and build out a more robust funnel, build something out that has like a lead magnet, then a video on the next page offering a call or whatever it might be, a 2-step funnel or a webinar, something like that, or whatever it could be. But starting off with that verification first, then going across and amplifying it after that.
Very good. I'm learning so much. Now, when it comes to content, what is really working right now best? Like, is it video or is it, I've seen so many different variation. Like sometimes people write so long that I cannot be bothered reading it. And if it just says sponsored, how do I know that's like, is it like an ad or is that someone just boosting a post?
Boosting a post is an ad. So it's an ad category, which still fits under that consideration of those 3 columns. That's under the consideration column. So when it comes to content, it really does come down again to your audience and knowing what they like. For example, we have sometimes clients that deal with tradies or deal with hairdressers, and they're busy people. They can't sit there and read something super long or watch something super long on the spot. In their own time, they may be able to do that, but not on the spot because they're normally on the go. So you've got to adjust to that. And like one of the best quotes I've ever heard about content or ads or whatever it might be is that there's no such thing as too long or too short, just too boring, like you mentioned, because I will go and sit and watch 4.5 hours of an Avengers movie, but if an ad pops up that disinterests me, I'm gone. So it's not like that we have the short attention spans, because I'll go and spend 4.5 hours watching a great movie, but I'm not going to spend more than 5 minutes watching something that's terrible.
So it comes down to even the length of writing. If it's long but engaging, people would read it. But I mean, I guess you just try to be as precise and short as possible if you can, but can go on long as possible. Okay, I guess in summary, like, I mean, you've dealt with so many different clients. Is there a certain industry or businesses that work better on Facebook and just, it's just not worth it on Facebook?
It's a great question. I had this the other day when I was speaking to a bunch of guys, and my response to them is that everyone should be on Facebook and using ads there, but it just depends on how. So for example, let's just say you're a huge supplier to mining companies of drilling equipment. You're probably not going to generate leads and inquiry from Facebook ads. That's just probably not going to happen. They will be very difficult to do. Possible in some realms, but very hard. So rather than trying to focus on that, I would be focusing on using that first column of awareness on Facebook. Maybe it is that you're promoting some of the activities that you're doing in the local community. Maybe you're promoting some of your clients and customers, talking about how great it is that such and such mining company is now using your services and showing some information about what they do. So because you can get away with like $1, I think actually depending now it's about $1.30 plus per day you could do on an ad. Why not use it for awareness? Same as having a billboard, same as sponsoring your local cricket or football team or whatever that might be. Try and use that just as an awareness piece so that people know about you. And then as a byproduct, if that person who was the head of a mining company that's looking to buy some equipment happens across you on social media, and then you're, from other channels that you're communicating with them, they see you again, then it's just even better. So I always think it's like, even if you're the smallest business, you can spend $1 a day, you can spend $30 in a month to try and just get yourself out there from an awareness perspective. But then from a lead generation perspective or sales perspective, I always focus on lead generation. We don't do much in the e-commerce space. I think it's hugely powerful to use as a tool at the right time. But that's why you need to have the strategy, you need to understand the tactics, you need to know what you're doing before you put it out there. But every business can use it, but you will use it in a different way. There's no like broad brush stroke, like everyone should do these types of ads, because there's over 16 different variations of ad types that you can run. There's one there for pretty much every business. I don't think there would be any that I would say you shouldn't, because to be honest, it's the cheapest form of getting in front of your market. Whether you know how to target them or not is a different question, but there's definitely market there for everyone to be in front of.
Yeah. And let's say, a lot of businesses have business pages, right? And they constantly post a post. Okay, I'm guilty of this. This is my business. This is me describing my company here, is that we spend a lot of time doing content, creating content and posting on Facebook, but we're currently being a tight ass and not spending on ads, right? So, and I know the reach that Facebook gives you to your organic audience is very low. So what advice would you give to someone going, well, I don't know, I guess I'm doing this because I feel like it's free, I'm just posting. But then if it's not really bringing result because people aren't seeing it, is this a time where you rather post a little and spend ads and boost them more, boost the ones that you do, rather than just posting every day for the sake of posting?
Yeah, it's you have to post with a purpose, right? And it's like, if you have engagement, awesome. But if it's just like you, your staff and your parents who go in there and like the post and not really anyone else, it's not really getting you the reach that you want, i.e. it's not getting in front of new eyeballs. So for me, I always go, well, if I'm going to put out content, I'm going to promote it. Even if you just promote it to the people that previously liked your page or something like that. And you can get away with $1 a day, which gets you a little bit of reach, and it gets you in front of people, and it will eventually grow. Like even my partner and I are launching a cafe here in Perth. And
congrats.
Yeah, thank you. And even though we don't have any content, we did one post which showed what the backyard looked like. So we did a little taster event, and there's a nice table and stuff. So all I just put $1 a day. I'm promoting that to everyone that's within a 2-kilometer radius of that cafe, so that they just start to see it. The name pops up, they start following us, even though we only have one post. We haven't got anything else on the profile, just one post. Yeah. And everyone's starting to follow us, engage, send us messages. So it's great from that aspect. But if I just put that post on there and expected people to go and like it and know about us, it's like, well, I may as well not even put anything there in the first place.
Yeah. Is that a very low percentage of them showing to your audience? What's the number like?
Unless you build, there are some where it's you can build amazing engagement, but for most of us, average humans, some people hit the jackpot and they have great content, virality to it and things like that, and it gets shared like crazy. But for most of us, it's we have to go in there and it's pay to play. But considering you can get away with $1 to $1.50 per day,
yeah.
To me, it's cool. Every day, spend it I spend more than that on a cup of coffee. So I may as well go and do that and just promote that out every day, that little bit, just to stay in front of people. And then eventually people start to know about it more, they share it a bit more, they engage with it a bit more. But I would say, always just dedicate.
Yeah, unless you spend a lot of money on your actual video production, like Jay Shetty and Nas Daily, who are creating video content that probably costs a lot to even do. That's how it goes viral naturally. But that's a good point. All right, you know what? After I hear it all, I'm still it's so confusing, and it's probably that's why I'm not the guru behind it. What are the ways that people can work with you to get more help with Facebook ads?
Yeah, I mean, look, we have like a ton of free resources. We have a Facebook group where we help coaches, consultants, service providers grow their businesses with online advertising. So we can teach you how to do it. You can watch our stuff. You can do it yourself for free, or we can do it for people. So we kind of have the full spectrum there. But check out our Facebook group. Certified Ballers is the name. You should find that there. And then on Instagram, connect me at Real Kim Barrett, and you'll be able to see how to get into and involved with anything that we're doing. And there's tons of free resources there for everyone as well.
Well, thank you so much, Kim. I'm going to put your links and stuff on the bottom of the video as well. But yeah, thank you for being here with me today. I've learned so much.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you'd like more videos to help you scale your business, check out my other videos over here. And if you have any questions, love to hear in the comments below.